Encore Revival, America, December 17, 2018. Every accusation against Trump so far sets a precedent to indict James Comey for refusing to prosecute Hillary for worse crimes. Trump's actual crime was unwritten, that he threatened the comfortable cash cow machine run by a parasitic establishment, accurately referred to as the swamp. These increasingly petty, ever more numerous, and parabolically dramatic accusations will not end in turning votes against Trump, but toward him. The only turnings against will be the masses revolting against the establishment for its attacks against Trump, and a revolt against the media that reports the attacks as fair. The public will see this as quite unfair because of greater priorities going unmentioned, including a multi-million-dollar hush-slush fund in Congress. So the swamp's machine attacked a dirty lawyer and sentenced him to prison. Now that lawyer has suddenly turned to saint because he wants to get out of jail by speaking against his own client, a president hated by the same swamp. Can a lawyer that the DOJ has worked so hard to imprison as a sleazebag suddenly be deemed a credible witness without any ill motives? Connect the dots. The swamp always wants everything both ways. The swamp is indeed ramping up the assault against Trump, but not because of any new position of strength. The swamp is on attack because the swamp is desperate. What we're about to see in the next 2 years will be Kavanaugh all over again. Only this time, it will push Trump to re-election better than before. Then we have the Brexit exit. Questions need to be asked about what connections nay voters in Parliament have to Brussels. British politics work differently from American. Prime Minister Chamberlain allowed Hitler to rise in power while Parliament kept Winston away. Once the feckless mess grew intolerable, the king had to intervene. After Winston won the war, with the help of some extremely profitable former colonies in America that the Britons claim they carelessly misplaced, the Britons ousted Winston after his warnings that Russia was a rising danger. No doubt, many in Great Britain will forget their frustration with past attempts to unite Europe, or the recent attempt, the EU, in squandering British tax dollars on socialist promises to solve self-made problems, such as more recently seen in France. One of the few wise prime ministers, Margaret Thatcher, said, "The trouble with socialism is that eventually you run out of other people's money." Now the EU has run out of the Britons' money, and will allow the Britons to stay if they want. And some Britons are actually talking about staying in. The American way, which defeated the Nazis for the British, would be for British Parliament to pass its own terms first, giving the EU the ultimatum. If May wants to keep her job, she should tell Parliament, "Give me whatever terms you accept, then I will defend them before Brussels." But that would require the strong spine of a cowgirl, not the tender skin of a true gentleman. There are many smart people in Great Britain, just not any that we can see from the decisions being made right now. The way things look, America will need to come to the rescue of our British brothers yet again. Given America's improving situation, it looks like we'll be able. Encore. Revival is returning to America.